Live from Studio 21 in Baltimore, Maryland, I am Jerry Royce Live, your video jockey and the greatest podcaster on earth. Welcome to MediaBuzzTV News Flash, a special edition of Book Buzz, featuring publishers, book authors, music artists, playwrights, actors and actresses, life coaches, and entrepreneurs. We are marketing, promoting, and branding businesses from all over the world on WebVision. So please stay tuned for a news flash.
We listen to Jerry Royce Live.
Hey everybody, I'm Jerry Royce Live, and welcome to MediaBuzzTV News Flash. Stay tuned for this special presentation. All right, welcome everybody. This is Jerry Royce Live on PositivePower21.org MBTV. I'm here at Preachers, Crimes, and Creativity. I don't know why I keep forgetting that name, but I have it straight by that, and it's not. We're standing here with Shirley Grogg. She's an author. She's participating in the conference. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm an author, I'm a truck driver, I'm an artist, and do a lot of different things. I have several different kinds of books out. I have a cozy mystery, Stamp-Out Murder, which is my baby, my first one. Right. Then I have The Secret in Grandma's Trunk, and then I have a devotional book. And then I'm in 3 anthologies right now. I have stories in 3 anthologies, and do a lot of writing. All right, that is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, what you're looking to get from the conference today? Well, I think that I love this conference, and I love the people here. So I really enjoy coming back and seeing everyone. They're very gracious, very sweet people. I really feel good here. They always ask you to be on panels and participate, and even my husband's volunteered. So, you know, we kind of get to participate a lot, and I like that. Of course, the keynote speakers, I think you can't learn enough about writing. You're always learning. So, and then I go to as many of the classes as I can. And it's filled up pretty good. The days are filled up good here. Very good, very good. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about your book. Can you tell us the premise of your book? Well, the first book is about a young man who's so happy in Washington, D.C. He's got his career. He's got a big house full of antiques. He collects stamps, and he has that going pretty well. But he his mother died, and she had one piece, an antique armoire that she hadn't been able to purchase. He found it on the internet in West Virginia. He went there, went into a culture shock, got accused of murder, but he found his love and met a lot of friends. So now what will he choose? Will he choose to stay in Washington and have the life he's always wanted, or will he choose to go to Juan? That's right. Okay, you hear that? Sounds like it's a mystery. All right, all right. All right, any final thoughts? Shirley Grogg. Check her book out. See the information on the credits. Take care, everybody. And thank you for joining us on Jerry Royce Live. We at Preachers, Creativity, and Crime. Did I say that right? No, I didn't. Preachers, Crimes, and Creativity. Yes, I did say that right. All right. Take care, everybody. C3. That's right. C3 Conference. Out here in Hunt Valley, Maryland. Okay? Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. This is Jerry Royce Live. We at Preachers, Creativity, and Crimes, or it's Crimes, Creativity, and Preachers. One of those 3. But anyway, we're standing here with Bill Powers. He's at the conference. Are you having a good time, Bill?
Having a great time, Jerry.
Awesome. So what have you done so far?
Actually, just started. I just sat on a panel on first authors and what to do after you publish a book.
All right, awesome, awesome. Okay, well, I'm holding his book. It's called The Farmhouse. It's a medical mystery thriller, and they said you got a book award.
I got a small book award earlier this year, yes.
All right, that is awesome, man. How did you feel when you received that award?
That was great. This is my first book, my debut novel, and it's nice to be recognized by your peers.
Wow, already, man. Okay, we're looking to see great things happen to you. Okay, we're going to ask one quick question, and that question is, who is Bill Powers?
Well, right now, Bill Powers is a published author, which is what I've wanted to be for a long time. I spent most of my career in the pharmaceutical industry. I spent 26 years working for Johnson & Johnson, but I've always wanted to write. I've always loved books, loved words, and I started working on a novel several years ago. And after I retired about 2 years ago, I decided this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to spend the rest of my career. I'm going to be a novelist. And The Farmhouse is my first novel, and I'm working on my second.
All right. Here it is right here. See that? His first novel. All right, really love it. And what's the premise of this book? We read this book. What we looking to find? You know, I mean, is it going to be exciting, a thriller? Is it going to spin on us?
It's a suspense thriller. It's set in the pharmaceutical industry where I used to work. And it's about the protagonist is Nicholas Harding. Nicholas is a scientist, middle manager, clawed his way up the corporate ladder. He's also a single father trying to raise his daughter. And he gets caught up in this web of intrigue in this pharmaceutical company where his life is threatened, his family is threatened, and you have to see what happens and how Nicholas is going to get out of that.
All right. Now the good thing is we'd love to have you on Jerry Royce Live. It's 40 minutes interview. Would you be interested in something like that?
I'd love to.
All right, absolutely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's Bill Powers. He's the author of The Farmhouse. And first time I heard about a medical mystery on the pharmaceutical industry, which is pretty deep, because I tried to get in the industry and it's pretty hard to get in as a sales rep.
It is hard to get in, yes.
And it's changed a lot over the years.
It's changed a lot the last 10, 15 years.
Yes. I mean, with the chips and everything, they know your every move. You can't just hang out at the house and say, hey, let me go fill this script real quick.
That's right. They know exactly what you're doing, how many pills you're taking.
That's right. Technology. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. Jerry Royce Live, MBTV, and we are at Creativity, Crimes, and Creatures, or Preachers, Creativity, and Crime. I'll get it right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, take care, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're at C3. We're standing here with Penny Clover Peterson, and she's the author of Roses and Daisies in Death on Mine. Wow, what a title. Tell me about it.
It's a cozy mystery. It features sisters Daisy and Rose, hence the title. And, you know, they've gone for a morning walk. This is what they do to relax. They've got a new business going, and they need this time to relax. And what is more off-putting than finding a dead body lying in the side of the road? What is more off-putting than that is to have Daisy's ex-husband show up to investigate the murder. So Daisy and Rose find this a challenge and decide that they have got to get to the bottom of not only the murder, but there have been break-ins in the town. There's some poison pen letters going out, and someone has brutally attacked her dog. So you know they've got some stuff going on that they need to get to the bottom of.
Wow, sounds like a great one. Ooh. Well, you have to go out to YouTube to find out more about it so you can get in contact with Penny Clover Peterson. Now, are you located on Facebook?
I am. I'm on Facebook, Penny Clover Peterson. I've got a blog at blogspot.com, Penny Peterson at blogspot.com. And I've got a website, www.pennypeterson.com.
Awesome. And all that is on your card. Right, we'll make sure your credits are rolling so everybody know how to get this great, interesting book. Now tell us about Penny Clover Peterson.
Well, I'm a wife, mother, grandmother. Started writing when my husband and I retired as a hobby. Didn't really think it would turn into anything. And suddenly my husband said, you know, write a book. And as I was writing, I realized it was actually becoming a book. And I self-published for a short while, and then was lucky enough to be picked up by Intrigue Publishing, and now my second book is coming out in April, and I'm working on my third one now, so it's quite fun.
Wow, fantastic. So you're having a great time every time.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I've got grandchildren to play with and books to write. So that
as far as like marketing and publishing and promoting, that's one of the biggest topics out there right now. What are you doing to promote your book?
I'm very bad. I'm a terrible business person and actually a very shy person. So I do have my Facebook and Twitter account that I'm not real good at. So you know, I do some book signings. I've done book clubs. I work at a library workshop, which is just wonderful for writers to get your name out there, but also to help your writing. You know, that's, so far, I'm working at it slowly.
Now, right, and one of the things I've observed on Facebook, a lot of authors are actually hiring public relations people to do all of that book blasting and all that good stuff. Now, there's some other things out there right now people are doing. They're creating movie trailers. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I've seen some, and if I could ever get my act together and find somebody who knew something about doing these things, I might look into that. Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, we're talking to Penny Clover Peterson. She's with Intrigue Publishing, and you have to get her book. I love that title. It's Roses and Daisies and Death, Oh My. Right?
Yes, it is, and it's a fun read. No, you know, nothing serious in it. You're just a good read for a cozy evening.
That's right. All right, but thank you so much. Any final thoughts?
Buy my book.
Her book. That's her marketing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy yourself here at C3.
Yes, it's a wonderful conference.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. And we see you later. Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. We're at C3. We're standing here with Marion Crook. She's the author of Waterfront Cafe. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You having a good time?
I'm having a really interesting time.
Awesome. So a whole bunch of you guys out here today learning about this book publishing world.
Yes, but I'm the only one from out of the province, out of the state. Province. I'm from Canada.
Oh, Canada. Love Canada. I've been there before. Quebec City.
People are collecting my signature because I'm on the scavenger hunt. I'm the only one from out of the country.
Oh, no one knows that, right?
If I have to find me.
All right. And you're with me right now.
Yeah.
All right, so you are Crook writing mysteries, adult, young adult. So would you write under different genres?
I write nonfiction as well on serious things like suicide prevention and eating disorders. But I get my fun from the mysteries.
All right, that's right. All right, well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm, as I said, from Canada, and I'm formerly a public health nurse and a teacher.
Awesome.
And I've been writing for a long, long time, and I have 26 published books out there. And I really just moved into the adult mystery genre lately, and finding it really, really different and really exciting. And I read it all the time, so it's fun to be doing it.
That's right. Why not? All right. Now we know you're from Canada. You're here visiting us in the States. What do you think of the States so far?
I love this place, and I wanted it to be full of flaming autumn trees, and it's not quite there yet, but it's going to be beautiful, and it is. It's a lovely part of the country.
That's right. It depends on where you are, because I think if you probably go maybe up to Buffalo, New York, we'll see those things.
Okay, well, I'll try and do that.
All right. Now we're at C3. I think this is their second annual conference.
I think so, yes.
This is your first one?
This is my first one.
Okay, and this is my first one.
Okay, well, there we are. We'll have to have a drink on that.
All right. That's right. I'll be here tonight. All right, Waterfront Cafe. Tell us a little bit about the characters in this book.
The Waterfront Cafe is set in a small town in the Pacific Northwest. And the protagonist, Karen, is fed up with being an emergency room nurse and gives it all up and buys a cafe in this little town and starts getting involved with the community. But she can't help but noticing all the things that are going on in town, and her business is threatened by a greedy developer who wants to put a big hotel by her. And the developer gets killed, and she gets to decide figure out who did it.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. You know, it's funny because I've seen a couple movies with that same, what would I say, theme, where these developers come into these, I guess the ghetto areas, and they're trying to buy up all the waterfront property, then they try to frighten off the owners of these small businesses. Will we see a little bit of little gangster going on in this book?
Well, the intimation is that that's why they want the property. But however, this is going on in my own hometown. So since I can't legitimately accuse the developers of anything, I can write a book.
You so can.
I did.
Good job. All right, well, any final thoughts?
No, just enjoy the conference, and I'm enjoying it, and there are a lot of great writers here.
Yes, it is. Now, can we find you on Facebook?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Amazon, and my last name's so easy to hook with mystery writer because people ask me how do you spell your last name. I say Crook, just like thief. You know? And yeah, I'm on Twitter and I'm on Facebook.
Good, good. Now, are you using those social medias to market your book, or are you just using just to engage your customers or clients?
And my agent insists I use it to market my book. And so I'm on other things like Goodreads and Pinterest and all kinds of other places as well.
Good. Now, which one is more successful? If you had to advise a young person on diversity in marketing, what would you say first?
A young person usually uses Instagram. Right? They are not so much on Facebook anymore. And I think this trend, so if I tell you something today, like next spring it'll be something else.
That's true. Well, I've read something where they're saying now that Facebook is more popular with the older folks now, and younger folks are more so involved with, I think you said Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I think Pinterest following strong second, and Twitter. Maybe Twitter was second.
I find Twitter great because you can go so quickly to so many people. And if you have to read a million messages, they're short.
Yes.
So I like
Yeah, I like that too, because you never know who's looking at Facebook. I guess if you're in those groups, you kind of don't know what's going on, who's seeing your news thread, but they move so fast.
That's right. I agree with you.
But the main thing is to just keep shooting them out there, right?
That seems to be it.
That madness. Now, are you using any other type of media? Are you using movie trailers? Are you using sound audio to engage your potential clients?
Not yet. You know, I'm moving as fast as I can here, so I'm trying to stay up with everything. But you're right; it is madness in a way. And most writers say, "Oh, I just want to sit back in my nest and write," but we do have to do marketing as well.
So you're just pushing the covers out with a link to like Amazon or Barnes & Noble?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that seems to be real popular right now. But I'm starting to see a growing trend now with the trailer. Finally, some of these designers are only charging like $35–40 to design a movie trailer for you.
It's quite reasonable. I have this rack that I got for a book that's coming out in the spring that I'm writing on how to write. And I found that so easy to do and so reasonable and then easy to distribute. And you can also just take a picture and, well, they send you a picture and just put it on your Facebook page. And so a lot of things are easy. You just have to learn how to do them, and that takes time.
Yeah, that's true. Just
Yeah.
give it a shot. Now, are you doing blog, radio, anything like that? Engage your customers?
I have in the past done a lot of radio and television when we didn't have the social media. So the book companies would send me on a tour across Canada mostly, and then you go from a radio show to a television show and you meet all kinds of people in this, and that was time-consuming but a lot of fun, and I got a lot of places. Now they don't do that. You book in a book tour online and in virtual media, and people, book clubs invite you in and have you do a blog or an interactive session with them. And again, that takes time, but your point about it's quite cheap to do is true. You can set those up quite reasonably.
So are you talking a little bit like Google Hangout?
I haven't done that one, but you can hire a company for not very much money who set up these blogs for you, and some people do their own. There are writers who are both, like you, technically savvy and good writers, and they are wonderful. My goal is to write a book with someone who's a technophile, right? Who does all that stuff, and I can just write. We should see if we can do it. We're right.
Okay, well, again, we're with Marion Crook. She's out there right now. Check out on Facebook. You'll find her credits running right after this broadcast. Thank you so much, everybody. We at C3. We're on Jerry Royce Live, MBTV. Thank you, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're at C3, and I'm standing here with Katherine Johnson, A.K. Murray Hart Perry. Isn't that a hot name? Yes, it is. All right, you having a good time, Katherine?
Absolutely. It's wonderful here.
And what have you done so far?
So far I've done Extreme Novelist Chalk, which is trying to get people to be able to finish their draft of a complete novel. And then I just did a panel on romantic suspense fiction.
Awesome. Sounds like fun. So did you learn anything?
Did I learn anything? I hope my listeners learned something, you know, because we had a good audience for both of those sessions.
All right, good. Because sometimes you find, you know, even though you're the motivational speaker or you're the facilitator, sometimes you learn a lot from the audience. You never know who's sitting out there and what they bring to the table. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. They had some wonderful questions. We talked about some craft issues, technical issues, about publishing, self-publication, as well as other things.
Okay. And did he talk about marketing, promoting?
Not so much during these sessions. We did mention that a lot of people are choosing to self-publish, which sometimes creates a situation where they need to do more marketing themselves. But basically, the major publishers still require a lot of information from their authors and a lot of work that's done by the authors for their self-promotion.
Okay. And my biggest question is, who is Mary Hart Pride or Katherine Johnson?
Who am I? I've been writing for a long time. Over 40 of my novels have been published by major publishers. And now I'm experimenting with some self-publication for my most recent books. Right now, I'm writing historical fiction. The historical fiction is based during the Victorian period, and the most recent book is a story that involves Jack the Ripper.
All right. Now, you're writing under so many things right now. You just released Shadow Princess, you're a gentleman poet, and what's that one right now? I'm reading Seducing the Princess?
Seducing the Princess, yeah, and The Wild Princess. That's a series of 3 books there. Yeah.
Are they erotica?
No, they are not. Actually, those 3 books are based on the lives of Queen Victoria's daughters, and they were, of course, princesses.
Well, that's a pretty seductive title there. So listen, what's that?
Seducing the Princess.
Seducing the Princess. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, this is about the youngest of Queen Victoria's daughters, Beatrice. And Beatrice was the one of her 5 girls. She had 9 children altogether. But Beatrice was the youngest, and she was the one that the Queen had decided would never marry. And she was kept pretty much around Queen Victoria as her secretary. Eventually she did. Beatrice did marry eventually, but with a lot of complaints from her mother.
Very interesting. Wow, wow. So tell us a little bit about your fan base. Are you engaging your fan base right now on social media?
A lot, yeah. I'm trying to do a lot of Facebooking. We're trying to do a lot of Twitter. Right now, we've just put one of the books on a special on Amazon, and until October 13th, it's going to be a free download. That's one of the Mary Hart Perry books. So you can find it there. After that, it'll go back to its normal price, but we're going to try to keep it low so that people can afford it.
That's right, that's right. Because now, one of the things that comes out of some of my podcasts, we talk about the triangle. We're talking about the publishing side of music, the publishing of books, and the publishing of movies. You're competing against those other 2 types of media. What's so challenging right now, you know, being an author, and you're kind of a little responsible for some of your own promoting these days, I know. I'm not sure, are they giving you the big budget these days to go on tour buses and visit cities, or they say, hey, everything is moving virtually right now? So what do you have to say about all that?
No, they're really not funding travel for authors, other than their really big names, their star authors. So most of it is on the author to do. And you're right, absolutely right. We're competing with film, we're competing with TV and video. So it's really important that we keep the pacing up in our books in order to hold the reader's interest. And books that are the sort of stories that are wandering and not quite as intense seem to be getting fewer readers these days. I think it's because we're so geared into communications and to video and to being able to visualize the story.
Yeah, so it's almost like you have to hire a cast of actors to do a movie trailer. I've seen some of that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I said, these guys are going all out to sell a book for 99 cents, but then I'm finding out that some of these people are making like $26,000 a month moving books through what's that, Barnes & Noble and Amazon. I think that's incredible.
There are some. I'm not one of them, but but there are people who are making really nice money off of doing their books. But the people who are doing the best as far as selling on Amazon and other places really are those who have multiple books out there. They have maybe 5, 10 books that they've written. Especially if they're written in a series, because people really enjoy that. It's like watching your favorite TV show every week. So keeping the books in a series, keeping them coordinated, and keeping them coming out fairly close together. So we don't have the time now to spend 2 or more years writing a book. You usually are trying to get a book out at least every 6 months now.
Right. Now, Kath, you're right on top of things. Now I interview close to 16 authors a week, and I'm hearing those same things. I mean, it's like you're right on top of it. These authors are writing their books a lot shorter now, so a 300-page book is not a 150-page book, and then you're talking about they release right behind one another. Now, are you thinking about venturing down that road, or you're not going to give up what you know best?
I really like to live in the story. I like the longer books. So most of my books are 350 to 400 or a little bit longer in page length. I like to write that way. I feel like it gives the reader the best possible story. And they're fun to stay in there and read and write them, just not just read them, but write them.
Yeah, because those are like flash books in a way, you know. It's like you said, it's like watching a TV show. Now, and this is just me, and I'm finding out a lot of people are addicted to Netflix because now you're finding these series that never fell on normal television. Now you're sitting there watching 3 episodes, well not 3, but 3 years of some show that was produced some time ago, and now you're talking about, what, 13 episodes per show?
Something like that, right.
You're talking about 3 years, so now the person is actually getting addicted to these characters.
Right.
So what would happen if they took your book and it became a TV series?
Oh, I'd love that. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
I think it's a dream of every author, and it happens so rarely. It just doesn't. You don't seriously think about that sort of thing. I'm just happy when I'm able to give my readers a good adventure, a place to go to just experience something other than their own life. It's nice. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah. Now, something else that's been happening out there is a trend. Some of these authors are so in love with their characters that they're actually casting actors to play them on what they call webisodes. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. I think for one thing, you have to wait until you're making a certain amount of money off those books, and that's hard to do. These things are very pricey. I do know one author who has done that, and she didn't tell me how expensive it was, but you know, she flew out to Phoenix, I think it was, and she picked her actors, and she had a director, and this is all out of her pocket. So I can't imagine how expensive it would have been. It's certainly something that I can't afford, or most authors.
Yeah, sometimes it probably depends on your connection also. Because I ran into a gentleman that was out in California, and he was part of that industry for a while, started out as a director. And he had access to this type of stuff, so he had a nice production put together. I couldn't believe the trailer. I said, wow, when is this coming out as a movie? And no, it's just the trailer for the book. And I said, wow, what did that cost? He said, nothing.
Yeah, well, it's wonderful if you're in the industry and you have the contacts. That would be fantastic.
Yes, so
let me know.
Right. We're running across so much talent out there with students and some of these schools that have what you call theater. Theatrics, whatever they call these things, and you have this production, these guys are looking for work. Would you ever think about tapping into their talents and trying to give it a shot?
Yeah, I certainly would, absolutely. I think it's just a matter of how much time do you want to spend away from your writing. And when we're doing all the social networking, we're doing Facebook, we're doing Twitter, we're doing LinkedIn, Pinterest, all these things, it eats up time that we could be writing. So you really have to stop and think, you know, is it worth your time?
Yeah, wow, Catherine. I like the way you ended that. All right, any final thoughts?
I just encourage people who are interested in writing that they would go ahead, pursue it, stick with it, find the support that you need, and pursue your dream. I think it's very doable. it's very doable.
All right, awesome. All right, that's Catherine Johnson, a.k.a. Mary Hart Pride. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy yourself at the conference. And we at C3, y'all. Stay tuned for more on replay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. We're standing here in C3 conference, having a great time. Standing right here with Carrie Parista. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. You having fun?
I am having fun. It's wonderful.
Good. And what have you done so far?
I've been on one of the panels as a debut author and shared my experiences about the pitfalls and the mountaintops of getting that first book published. And I've been listening to the suspense authors speak as well, which is something that I'm interested in.
All right, good. Now, your book is called The Hunting. Tell us a little bit about it.
The Hunting is the story of, I'm going to edit this right.
You okay.
I'm getting my books mixed up. The Hunting is the story of a woman who is very flawed. She's a single mom. She's a busy woman. She has a career in advertising. She has 3 kids, and she also has a really big stumbling block. She's addicted to online dating.
Whoa, wow. Now, this is a real story?
Well, I think all fiction has elements of reality in it. From each person that is an author, of course, they pull from their past. But what happens is we greatly embellish those things in order for staying up till 3 a.m. appeal.
That's right.
So, and I'm sorry.
No problem.
But, I'm just freezing.
No,
This
you
is
take
terrible.
okay.
This is terrible.
All right. Now, I think that's very interesting, Carrie. Now, someone's addicted to online dating. Now, you have a lot of people that are addicted to a lot of things.
Right.
Social media, you have people at their desk, their cubicle, instead of being productive, they're on their tablets, they're on their Facebook, on their Apple machine, just having a good old time on Twitter and Facebook. It can be very time consuming.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned that addiction is online. Do you know that person, or are we looking at that person?
It's a composite. It's a composite of people I've known, and I have had experiences with online dating. But it's also things that I've observed in other women and how it can just really steal your time from your family. And although it's a wonderful tool to meet the love of your life, it's also very difficult to raise a family, make a living, especially if you're a single parent. If you spend every night online and you run out and meet someone new.
That's right. It's going to take something away from somebody. That's your family.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we were talking a little bit about marketing and promoting. You said this is your debut book. So, I mean, have you written some other things before you actually published this book?
Yes, I was a humor columnist for a newspaper and had a pretty decent following, and I just kind of got hooked on writing at that point because I was kind of like, oh, there's the woman that writes that humor column, and so it was so awesome to see my name in print and really to do some things that people talked about and that motivated them.
Wow. What else do you enjoy doing besides writing? I mean, you talked a little bit about online. Are you working right now, or you're a writer full time?
I just retired from an advertising career, 25 years as a copywriter and designer. I got remarried 7 years ago, and so my husband's job brought us to Baltimore. We've been here 5 years. I'm a transplanted Southerner, y'all.
Good, awesome.
So I'm just getting used to the East Coast vibe, just
right.
speeding up my thinking and speeding up my talking and all that goes with that.
That's right. One of the things that's so big on the East Coast is football. Do you love football?
I'm a Ravens fan.
Oh.
Go Ravens.
Yeah, you know, I was going to guess you was a Cowboys fan there.
I became a Ravens fan when we crossed over the Maryland line.
Oh, okay. Great. And I would have never guessed that you were retired. Does she look like she's a retired person? No?
I'm retired.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations to you. So now you're devoting your time full-time writing?
Full-time to writing, yes, I am.
So what are you working on right now?
My second manuscript is tentatively entitled The Deadening. It's the story of a woman's journey who got married right out of high school, married because she got pregnant, and what she's done is kind of abdicate her life to a controlling husband, but she thinks everything is just fine.
Hi everybody, we at C3, we're having a good time. We're here with Dee Lawrence. She is a author, speaker, writing coach, and also she's a writer for romantic suspense. Tell us about it.
Right, I write romantic suspense novel. The title of my novel is called Gotta Let It Go, and it's set in Baltimore City.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, now we had an opportunity to talk to Dee a while back on our podcast about this book. So how's this book doing?
It's doing rather well, Jerry. Thanks for asking.
All right, now she's traveling with the Book Divas on tour, and how's that going right now? Where should we see you guys next?
Okay, so upcoming we are going to be heading to New Jersey for a second time. We were there over the summer, and one of the guests says, wow, you know, how do I go about hosting you? And we just said, hey, just name the time and the place, and we'll be there. And so the first weekend in November, we will be in New Jersey.
All right, so your fan base are embracing you guys?
Yes, we're all over Washington, Maryland, of course, Virginia, Delaware, Philadelphia, New Jersey. This has really taken off, and we're having so much fun.
All right. Now, Dee, you're part of the Intrigue Publishing group as far as supporting them. Now, you're not signed with this publishing company.
No, I'm not. No,
okay.
I'm not.
Okay. Any time or signs of you joining them?
Possibly if I can get my second novel off the ground, then possibly I'll submit and see what happens.
All right, because I did get a little talk from the publisher himself that he was interested in your book.
Really?
And I'm just wondering, you know, what's going on? You know, are you being partnered by some other groups?
Oh, well, I'd have to get it done first, Jerry. So I'm not sure whether it's going to be self-published or through a traditional small press. I'm not quite sure yet, so it's something that I have to consider when I'm done.
Okay. Now, an advice for someone who's shopping around, if they're in between the thought of keeping their own book to themselves or shopping a traditional publisher. I mean, they really feel confident that they think they can get picked up. Any advice for a person who's thinking about this?
I would say there's a difference between self-publishing and going the traditional route. I tell folks, if you have the time and the energy and the inclination, go ahead for the traditional route. However, it can take a long time. You will get rejection letters unless you're really, really lucky and have a super book that they will just pick up just like that. Or I would say, you know, explore the self-publishing arenas. There's CreateSpace, BookBaby. There's so many other ways in which you can retain your creative control. And I think for me, more than anything else, retaining that creative control is very, very important to me.
All right, awesome. Romantic suspense. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so Gotta Let It Go, as I said before, is a romantic suspense set in Baltimore. It's about a former prosecutor going through a divorce. On the day of her divorce, her best friend and divorce attorney gets murdered, and the soon-to-be ex-husband may be involved. Now, it is a problem because this attorney, she wants out and of being an attorney, and then she gets pulled back into the arena to try to solve this murder. The cop who's assigned to handling the case, or the detective who's assigned to handling the case, said, look, I have the badge, I have the means, let me do what I do. And of course, you know, she doesn't listen, so then it becomes a problem because then it creates tension, sexual tension between her and the detective, and of course her husband is still, soon-to-be ex-husband is still milling around. Okay. So it's hot, it's hot.
All right, now that's what I'm about to talk about, the hotness of the book. Are you real graphic with your love making in the book, the romance part? I mean, what we're looking at, bedroom setting or just a lot of romantic settings?
It's a combination. If it's rate your heat. So I would say it's about a 4 out of 5. It's not overly graphic. I think it's very tastefully done. But yeah, there's some scenes in there that makes you go like, you know. But
All right, now I know that I've been talking to a few authors, and everybody has their own style. Some of the authors believe that you need to come out of the gates really, really fast to capture the reader. How do you feel about that?
Oh, absolutely. From the very first page, you need to grab your reader. If you can't do it on the first page, you're going to lose interest. You know, so something has to happen, boom, right there in your face. And then you want to go like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So it's called the turning effect for me. And so you need to make sure that what you have out there, the very first sentence should be a hook. So that's how I write.
All right, well, tell us about the first few pages of your book.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think. It opens up where the main character, Deidre Hunter, is getting ready to driving to Baltimore to get her divorce, and she's getting ready, and there are a lot of thoughts going through her head, and she's like, oh my God, I can't, you know, what's going to happen if I see her soon-to-be ex-husband, because the attraction is still there, even though she's getting rid of him, you know, because he's a quote-unquote ladies' man. He's a player, right? You know, he's a player. And she gets there, and then all hell just breaks loose.
So the love is still there between them?
I think there's some tension there. You know, she knows she got to let him go, because there's one part where he walks in, and without even turning around, she says, I can smell the Gucci rush. And then she's like, oh my God, if I don't go through with this now, I may never. Wow. So that's how it starts, that's how it opens. Wow. And then of course you hear gunshots. Okay.
So it's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
All right, you guys hear that? You hear that? All right, now you were writing, you were helping out with this conference, you were mentoring. How you handle all this? I mean, because one of the things, I read Facebook all the time, I read these affirmations, but writers are going through a lot. What's your advice to how to handle and have work-life balance?
Work-life balance is extremely important. I do work full-time, and I love the creative side of what I do when I'm off the clock. However, time management plays a very key role for me. And so in order for me to juggle mentoring and participating as the C3 author panel coordinator and writing and doing all of this, balancing my time is what's important. So time management is very, very important.
Right. Not just for getting things done, but for your health as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We talked about this before, and I try to hit the gym at least 3 times a week in order to reduce my stress. You know, and I try to do it early in the morning, and so it prepares me for work. So when I get off work, you know, battling traffic and all of that, I don't have to worry about that. But it helps mentally, physically, and emotionally just to get you in a place where you can handle all the stressors of life and also balancing everything that I'm involved in. So it's very important to have a solid mind, physical, and well-being.
That's right, man, body and spirit.
Yep.
Now you're on tour with 2 other young ladies, B Swangin and KR Ray.
Absolutely.
How's that relationship going?
Oh, we're like sisters. It is wonderful. I couldn't ask for a better set of ladies to go out and tour with. They're just awesome.
Wow, no cat fights?
No, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. It's about, okay, ladies, we have monthly meetings, believe it or not, and we coordinate our efforts. If we're going out of town, it's like, okay, so who's driving? You know, come to my house, I pick you up, let's go to Delaware, and we pick Kara up, and we just head to New Jersey. And that's how we coordinate things. We want to make sure that if we're doing a presentation, we have the title of the presentation, what we're going to talk about. So we have to be very coordinated, so we don't have any time for any cat fights or what have you, because it's about presenting a united front.
That's right, absolutely, and being good role models to some of our younger writers that's out there, and probably need to do the same thing, probably hook up with some other writers and try to put all their resources together.
Yes.
Now let's talk a little bit about the internet. Now I see you guys out there on the internet promoting the book tour. Are you guys working just as hard offline as well as online?
Oh, absolutely. Every time we go out, we meet and greet people at different events. Like right here, we're at Just Crimes and Creativity, and we're networking. You know, we're not in a bubble. So not only are we online and internet presence, we are also face-to-face. You know, meeting, mixing, and mingling, and that's how we, you know, cast a wider net for networking.
Absolutely, that is so important. Now let's talk a little bit about Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Now, some numbers came out, and they're saying Facebook not that popular for young people right now. Why do you think that is?
You know what? I'm not a big Facebook fan. If I didn't write, I wouldn't be on there, to be honest with you. It can be a time suck. You know, so you have to designate moments where, you know, you give yourself like a 20-minute or a 30-minute time frame to be on there. But for me, I like my website. I like Twitter simply because it's short and to the point. You know, and so it all depends. I would say whatever works for you, go for it.
Okay. And one of the things I like about Facebook, it is multimedia. It allows you to be able to communicate both audio and visual, and as well as static pages. Those three vehicles, I think, is kind of important today. How do you feel about engaging your potential customers there? You have a lot of impulse buyers out there.
Absolutely. I would say that because we all have separate Facebook pages, we also have one, Book Divas on Tour. So whatever I share, Book Divas, I also funnel it to my personal page as well as my own writer page. So we share information like that. And I think what's interesting where Facebook has something now where it tells you how many people it reaches, and I think that's good in terms of giving you an idea of the insights of who's reading what when. And so we try to be on there as often as we can to talk about what's upcoming, what we've done. We share pictures, so we try to remain very active.
And it seems like you guys
we are here.
Because one of the things I read that experts are saying, don't always just try to engage your audience because you're trying to get something from them. No. Give back. Now, what are you giving to your audience?
I would say what we're giving is telling them who we are. We're not asking folks to just buy our books. I think that's secondary. We try to build trust. We try to get people to like, know, and trust us. And by doing so, then if they say, oh, oh, she's pretty cool, let me see what's happening with Gotta Let It Go, or, True Colors, or, let me just say this, that's Sandra's book. And it all depends. But we don't push the agenda. What we push is for folks to know who we are as a group.
All right, this is Jerry Royce live at C3. We're about to wrap things up with my good friend Dee Lawrence. Any final thoughts?
I would say that I want to thank you so much for this opportunity, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. And we're having just a great time, and anyone seeing this, I would love for you guys to come out next year and support us. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely. We will be back. We're gonna talk about this as long as we can on YouTube and Facebook, so everybody knows the Entry Publishing, C3, Dee Lawrence. They live. They are live.
Alrighty, thanks again.
You're welcome. All right. Hi everybody, we are C3, Creatures, Crime, and Creativity, and we're here with KM Rockwood at www.kmrockwood.com. You having a good time?
Yes, I am. I've met a lot of interesting people and heard a lot of information.
All right, awesome. And we're going to come right out of the gates. We're going to ask you, who is KM Rockwood?
That's a good question. If I knew, I'd tell you. I have an extensive background in various blue-collar occupations and things, and I try to use that in my writing to create characters and situations that I hope people find as interesting as I do.
All right. Oh, that is awesome. All right. Well, we're going to ask you a little bit, what's the premise of your book, and what genre are you under?
Okay, they're mysteries, basically crime novels. I like to give a voice in my stories to people who live on the edges of society, people who are not as comfortable and who are very insecure in their living situations and job employment, things like that. So those are the people I try to emphasize. My main series has a protagonist who was, at the age of 17, convicted of a murder in the state of Maryland, which at that age in Maryland is an adult conviction, and spent 20 years in prison, picked up a 30-year sentence and spent 20 years in prison, now released, and is trying to make it on parole.
Oh, wow, very interesting. Well, you guys got to get it. Now, can we find you on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble?
Yes, on both.
All right, Facebook?
On Facebook, yes.
All right, that's awesome. So you're all over the place.
I would like to be.
All right, and are you having a great super time?
I'm having a wonderful time here, yes.
All right, that is KM Rockwood at www.kmrockwood.com. Check her out. Will Jessie be able to figure out what happened or be sent back to prison? Check her out. Thank you, everybody. We're at C3 Conference, and I am Jerry Royce Live. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Good.
All right,
thank
you. Hi, this is Jerry Royce at C3. We're having a good time. We're here with CJ Ellison at cjellison.com. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, awesome. Are you having a great time?
I am. They did a really good job with the con.
Yes, I'm having a fantastic time. All right, we're here to talk to her and find out what she has learned and what she's expecting to learn. So what's going on out there right now that you already know about, but you want to know a little bit more about?
Do you mean in the con in general or the industry in general?
The industry.
In the industry, God, I think what I would want to know is what every writer wants to know is what's going to be the next big thing. What does every reader want to read? Because that's what you're hoping is already in your hopper for what you want to write next.
Yes, and it's getting so interesting. One of the things I've learned that the people that were writing 300-page books are now splitting their books 3 ways and selling them at 140, 150 pages and giving them what they call a flash read. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I do. I think it's okay as long as you're not pissing off your readers. If you have a reader that gets upset because they feel as if it has a cliffhanger ending, then the way you're packaging it is not right. If you've got a really long book and you've decided that if I want to put this out there, I don't know if as a beginning author, I'm going to be able to reach readers with a 150,000 word book. Maybe I should split it up into 3 50,000 word shorter novels. I think it's a great way to reach people, especially if you can do the first one for free and have later ones priced effectively.
Right, and that was one of the things that Austin and I was talking about before, where a lot of writers are starting to price their books really, really low, and all the work you guys put in. Do you really want to sell your book for 99 cents?
I don't think anybody in the world would like to sell a product they put their heart and soul into for 99 cents, but the plain and simple truth is you need to reach readers, and the way you reach readers sometimes is to do a basement sale on your first book or give it away. Have it in conjunction with other authors in an anthology or in a bundle, but you have to make sure that you're reaching readers. So it doesn't matter what you price your book at if nobody's going to read it.
She is so awesome, so awesome, so awesome. All right, well, we can find you at CJ Ellison, and can we find you on Facebook, Twitter, and all those places?
I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, not as much, Facebook definitely. And it's CJ Ellison with 2 L's and 2 S's, so if you look it up, you'll find it. All
right, everybody check her out. We're at C3 Conference again in Baltimore, Maryland, right out there in the Hunt Valley area. It's a very nice hotel we're staying in. What's the hotel, how are they treating you here?
They're terrific. The service has been great and the food has been very nice.
That's right, and we're at Hunt Valley Inn. And I think they call it the Baltimore Hunt Valley Inn?
Yes, you're right, they do, the Baltimore Hunt Valley Inn.
That's right, so there's a little plug. So we'd like to see you next year.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it, Jerry.
You're welcome. I'm Jerry Royce live at the Hunt Valley Inn Hotel with the C3 Conference. Have a good time, everybody. Bye-bye. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry Royce at C3. We're having a good time here. You having a good time?
Yes, I'm having a great time.
Awesome.
It's a good conference.
That's right, it is. We're standing here with Rebecca York. I had an opportunity to listen to her speak last night, and she just simply was awesome. Wow, how did you put that together?
I was just talking about my relationship with monsters. I haven't gotten along well with vampires, but I have a great relationship with werewolves.
Awesome, and I can relate because I grew up where there wasn't a whole lot of television going on back then. It wasn't the cable that we see today. You know, even limited to 4 channels, maybe a couple of DC channels.
Yes, right.
And the werewolves were very popular after 12 o'clock.
Were they?
Yes, they were. And I enjoyed it, really loved them. Now I'm looking at your brochure here.
Yes.
And you're rocking, what, 5 books right now at one time?
No, I have a lot of books. If you sit and write for years, you get a lot of books. So I've written over 150 books. Wow. And those are just current books.
Wow. So we're looking at what, Dark Powers, Dark Magic, On the Edge, Bad Nights, and this one here is called, help me out with that one.
Yes, I can't see it from here.
Something Protector.
Yes. Geez, why are we doing this? Carrie's Protector.
Oh, so she has written so many books she can't remember all the titles.
Right.
All right. Now, how can someone find you? Is RebeccaYork.com the only place they can find your book?
Well, no. I'm on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, anywhere you can find books. And I do have my website, RebeccaYork.com. I'm on Facebook and Twitter, Rebecca York 43.
Now, you are a New York Times best-selling author. Wow, that is incredible. When did that happen?
Geez, maybe 15 years ago.
Wow, so you stay there all the time?
Yeah, well, I'm not on it all the time, but I've been on it recently, like last year, too.
Now you've been out there for a while. You have an opportunity to see trends change. What's been so amazing to you that's really blown your mind?
Well, what's blowing my mind is how much the publishing industry has changed. It used to be that you had to sell to a New York publisher, or you couldn't get anywhere. Now you can publish yourself, and you can actually do very well.
That's right. That's so true. Well, any final thoughts?
Yes, I love this conference, and I'd like to come back next year.
All right, awesome. I'm Jerry Royce Live. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
All right,
thank
now you keep this?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Hi everybody, this is Jerry Royce live. We're still at C3. We're interviewing authors. We're having a good time today. You having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
All right, we're standing here with the author of Armand, The Spirit of Destruction, Puja. All right, tell us a little bit about the premise of this book.
The book is a spy thriller about an assassination plot in the Middle East, and it follows the two lead characters, a former spy who gets pulled back in, and the assassin himself, who is, I think, the most interesting character in the book.
Wow, so tell us about him. He's a very strong guy. I mean, what's going on with him? Did he lose his parents? Or, I mean, why is he so strong and determined to be a strong leader, I would say? I know he's a strong leader, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a strong lead, but he's had a lot of good experiences, and then he has a really bad one that kind of twists his fate and takes him down a path that you would never have expected.
Wow.
And as a result, he becomes this much darker character, and the book really explores that transition.
Wow, sounds good. Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, now, we know you're out there on Facebook. How's that experience been for you?
It's good. I am looking forward to connect to more readers and other writers. That's been really great. I didn't do a lot of marketing stuff before I published, and so since I've published, I've gotten to meet a ton of other authors at conventions like this or other smaller events, and it's been amazing.
All right, good. So you're working offline and online. Now, of course, offline is always going to be much more enjoyable. Online is still, people still trying to understand. Now, are you using Twitter, Pinterest, those kind of things?
I'm not on Pinterest, but I am on Twitter. I will probably be expanding my social media presence a little bit. I'm right now on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and I have a blog on WordPress. So
tell everybody where they can find you on WordPress.
It's pujaguha.wordpress.com. It's also connected with my website, which is pujaguha.com.
All right, we will have a link for you right there inside the browser. And I love this cover design. Who did your cover design?
A woman named Tatiana Villa. She is a wonderful graphic designer, and I think books are just her passion, so she does this on the side. It isn't her main business, but she's amazing at it.
That's right, you gotta check out. So that's espionage, assassins, Middle East. You gotta love it. Available at your favorite book retailer, Amazon.com, and you said Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, all of the above, basically.
All right, awesome. Oh wow, just love that. And that's Armand, The Spirit of Destruction. You have to check it out. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and share this file.
Thank you.
That's right. Bye-bye. Thank you. Hi everybody, we're at C3 standing with B. Swain Webster, and she's going to talk a little bit about her book. What's the title of your book?
My book title is Let Me Just Say This, and it tackles social issues that's going on in the news right now. We're talking about domestic violence and self-esteem. So with the Ray Rice situation going on, and before that was the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation, I'm taking you into the woman's frame of mind of why she stayed. And it's not as simple as most people think.
That's true, and there's a lot of that going on. The funny thing, I have talked to many authors. I think I went 2 weeks, and these young ladies would tell me they were using the book to it was like therapy to them. They were going through this, they've gotten themselves out of this, but it still hangs in there. It's almost like, I want to forget it, so I'm going to write a little bit about some fantasy. Now, of course, some of the people are still hurt inside. So is your book, is it reaching out to these, like, the victims of, like, House of Rouge, and those kind of things?
It is. I took the opportunity during the month of October, I'm donating part of the proceeds to the House of Rouge that's in Washington, D.C. And I also donate my novels. I donate some of them to domestic violence in women's shelters, just to show those women that you're not alone. And even though the story is fictionalized, I did a lot of research on how a woman becomes to stay with a man in that kind of a situation. And it really isn't about money. It really is about her own self-worth. And so following those women, I was, able to get down into the main character in my novel.
Right. And it's a main concern across the United States right now. Of course, the NFL is trying to tighten up more policy. I'm a father, I have a daughter, and I have 2 older sons. Well, not 2, 1 older son and a younger son. And we talk about this all the time because we want to see the respect for this young lady in our home. And at the same time, we want her to show respect to them. So if she's going to put her hands on them, of course, we're going to say, guys, you're not supposed to fight your sister, but you know, he's like, they like looking at us like, well, she hits hard.
Right.
So how should we approach it, you know, being a dad? What would be your advice to me?
Well, for me, because I have men and I have daughters, I am under the, and it's not a common, you know, I'm not all about common and being with the mainstream. Right. My thought on that is, a woman and or a man needs to be able to defend themselves. Now, if you're going to put your hand on someone else, that person should be allowed to defend themselves. That's not a popular belief, right. But if you do that, know what the consequences may be. On the other hand, if a man is going to do that, yeah, a woman can defend herself. But if a woman is going to do it, then they both need to be separate and they both need to be arrested. Most of the time, a woman does not get arrested for it because it's like, oh, well, he's bigger than her, and they take the man away. Well, in my book, if a man or a woman does it, they both need to be penalized for it.
The consequences. All right, man. All right, where can we find your book?
My book is on Amazon, and it is on my publisher's website. And if you go into Amazon, like I said, half the proceeds I've set up with my publisher, that half the proceeds will be donated to the House of Freedom during the month of October.
Awesome. Intrigue Publishing with B. Swing Webster. Thank you so much for being with me. You looking beautiful tonight.
Thank you. I got to work hard.
That's right. All right. Get that book, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Jerry Royce Live on MBTV. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Peace. Hi, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. We're at C3 Live. I'm Jerry Royce Live, and we're standing here with Mr. Stephen Von Patton. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Great. You having a good time?
I am.
All right. What have you learned at this conference?
What have I learned so far? Well, we just finished a panel about villains and monsters. So we were discussing how sometimes the ideology is really the only thing that differentiates a villain or a monster from us regular folk.
That's right. We have some monsters in real life, don't we?
Well, yes.
All right. Now, you have a company called Laughing Black Vampire Production, LLC. Tell us a little bit about that company.
Well, it's basically a one-man operation, and what I do is I write vampire novels. I have 3 out. It's the Brookwater's Curse Vampire Trilogy, and I also stage manage TV shows. So that's why it's a production company, because I also do production work.
All right, good, good. And where can we find you?
You can find me at www.brookwaterscurse.com.
All right, and are you on Facebook?
I'm all over Facebook.
All right,
That's Laughing Black Vampire.
All right, so how has social media been treated?
Social media has been great. As a matter of fact, it's awesome for a small press guy like myself, because otherwise you really don't have a leg to stand on or a way to compete with the big boys and, you know, people signed with Simon & Schuster and all that other stuff. And, you know, it's a great tool for, because not everybody that's a good, decent, or great writer gets the breaks that they necessarily need. So it's a good thing that social media exists.
That's right, that's true. Now, are you taking advantage of social media as far as multimedia, like using video trailers, audio, podcasts, and stuff like that?
All that stuff for me is in the works right now.
Okay.
I haven't fully taken advantage of it, but I'm definitely on the track.
Okay, now are you engaging the young ladies out there that's trying to pursue your company?
Well, look, when I'm about as social as a social guy can be.
That's right. We have problems out there sometimes. All right. We appreciate you being here, man. And,
well, thanks for having me.
And enjoy it and meet people and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, give everybody your website one more time.
It's www.brookwaterscurse.com.
All right, and that's Stephen Von Patton. All right, check him out. I'm Jerry Royce Live, MBTV. I'm sorry, MBTV. Thank you for stopping by on replay. Thank you, y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm still hanging out at the C3 conference. That's Creatures, Crime, and Creativity, and I'm with Kathleen Young-Rabacek. She's also known as Catherine Fisher-Clark. Did I say all that correctly?
Yes, you did. Congratulations on getting that Rabacek right. It's a bit of a doozy the last day.
Oh, and then I had to name the title of the conference, too. All right, well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a Baltimore native. I actually am kind of unique in that I'm currently living in the neighborhood I grew up in. It's kind of neat. Been a long-term resident of Baltimore. I write poetry, I write fiction, and I just basically try to have a lot of fun with my writing and volunteering for writing groups in the area.
Awesome, they need that. All right. Now, what's so important about editing these days? You have a lot of people putting books out there with one editor. Do you recommend that?
Well, I think you need to go over your writing carefully, and I think it also helps immensely. One of the things I rely on is I have a housemate who lives with us who is very into writing, so he helps me edit my stuff. He takes a look over it. I also edit for two different things. What I do is I edit first for like spelling, grammar, and punctuation, and then I go back and edit for like timeline and content.
Yes.
Did I screw up the order of my events?
Right.
Did I mess up somebody's eye color or hair color? That kind of thing.
Now, you have a new book out?
I actually have 2 books out, but yes, there's one new out for this particular fun little conference.
Congratulations.
Dragon's Fire is my first one, and Dragon's Sight is my second one, and that's the one that's come out now. The continuing adventures of my poor harried heroine and her circle of friends. So, and it's actually set in my hometown, Baltimore.
Oh, really? Get out here, all these books in Baltimore.
Yeah, you know, if you know the place, use it, and Baltimore has so many things
yes.
you can pick out to use. It's a very, very nice setting.
Yes, yes. And the premise of those books?
The premise of those books is the result of a conversation I had with a couple of friends of mine who said, what would the world be like if natural creatures had been out and about all along? Things like vampires and sorcerers and psychics. What if they were a normal part of society?
They are.
So I said, okay, let's play with this. And that's pretty much, I spent about 3 years world building and then started writing.
Well, you know, for some of us, they really are out there.
Oh yeah, I know it's like the X-Files, you know, it's out there.
That's
you
right, that's
just gotta
right.
wonder.
Remember keeping quiet. All right, and your website?
Is under construction, but I'm working on it, and it's going to be www.catherinefisherclark.com, and that's Clark with an E. So
that's right.
Or you can just look me up on Facebook, and sometimes I'm on Twitter when I have a moment.
Good, good. Are you enjoying social media right now?
I like it. It's a lot of work, but you meet some really cool people, and I actually found a writing group on Facebook, which was really amazing.
Wow,
So
wow.
yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Right, people are actually going out and meeting these people for the first time and best friends.
Yeah, you can meet some really, really nice people, locally and nationally.
That's right,
That's
long
one of the
lost
nice
friends, all
things.
the good stuff. All right, well, congratulations to you.
Thank
your book,
you.
and continue enjoying C3, the Creatures, Crime, and Creativity. I'm Jerry Royce live on MBTV. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, YouTube. Bye-bye. All right. Hi, everybody. This is Jerry Royce live at C3. We're having a good time. You having a good time, KR?
Awesome time. Fabulous, wonderful time.
All right. Now, we're talking to KR Ray. Of course, a lot of you already know her because she's been on our podcast several times. She's been hanging out with the book tour divas. So how's that going so far?
The Divas on Tour has been phenomenal. We've had tons of different appearances, both at readers' houses, at the Maryland Writers Association, going to different chapter meetings, as well as different festivals and fairs across the Eastern Coast. So it's been a wonderful time.
Great, great. And tell us the title of your book.
So I'm actually with the Colors Trilogy, or
Oh,
half the
look at
Colors
that,
Trilogy.
look at that. Oh my God.
And the first book in the trilogy is called The Colors of Friendship. The second one's called The Colors of Love. And the third one's called True Colors. So I like to tell people it starts with friendship, may or may not go to love, and at the end of it all, you find out people's true colors.
That's right, the true color. That's awesome. Now, something big, a couple of big things has happened to you during the course of the summer. Can you tell us about some of those achievements?
Oh my gosh. So it's been an amazing year. So I wound up being an Amazon bestseller in 3 different categories. And it's just been phenomenal. USA Today read and reviewed all 3 of my books. And it's just been a whirlwind ride.
Roller coaster
ride. There you go. That would have been much better. Roller coaster.
Wow.
And the first book, The Colors of Friendship, also places finalists in 3 different award competitions. So it has been fantastic.
Showing off out there. All right. Now, what's the next big plans for you guys?
So actually, we have a couple more events scheduled as Book Divas on Tour, as well as I have a couple of individual appearances. And then for Nano Write Mo, which is the National Novel Writing Month in November, I'm planning on writing with my son the next trilogy, which will be young adult sci-fi. So
Get out of here.
We're staying busy.
Wow. So you guys gonna be under the same publishing company, or are you moving forward? Oh.
Yes, we'll stay with JPAP Publishing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Wow. Awesome. Congratulations to you. And much more success. That's right. Christmas is coming soon, so you gotta push that book, right?
Oh yes,
right.
definitely. So go out and get the Colors Trilogy. You can get it either at colorstrilogy.com, or you can get it under my website, krray.com. That's KRRAY.com. MediaBuzzTV.com, and of course on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iBooks, and any place where books are sold.
That's right. She's all over the place. All right, I'm Jerry Royce live on MBTV. Thank you for joining us, y'all. And keep replaying and sharing this file. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Jerry Royce live at C3 Conference. We're standing here with Jeff Markowitz, and he's the author of Death and White Diamonds. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, great. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a wonderful time. It's a really good conference.
Yes. Did you learn anything?
Yes, I have. I think just a chance to network with the other authors, picking up little tips, but really just getting excited about figuring out what the next story is I want to write.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
So you don't have anything on the table right now?
I think I do now.
Awesome. Now, how long has Death and White Diamonds been out?
Actually, Death and White Diamonds is my new book. It comes out in December.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations. Yeah. Just in time for the holidays.
Yes.
All right. Now, what's the premise of this book?
Richie goes away for the weekend with his girlfriend. One thing leads to another, and now she's dead.
Ooh.
He doesn't really think he's responsible, but his memory's a little hazy about the events. The only thing he knows for sure is that when they find her body, he's going to be the prime suspect.
Wow.
So he decides the smart thing to do is to try to dispose of the body, and that's where things start to go wrong.
Yes, we've seen that happen. That kind of reminds me of the incident that happened with the Olympic star with his girlfriend. He doesn't remember what happened. Wow, that is so fascinating. Wow. All right, now where can we find you?
Excuse me, where can we find the book?
Yeah,
the book's going to be available anywhere books are sold. My publisher is Intrigue Publishing, our host this weekend. It's actually my first book for Intrigue, but my fourth book. The book will launch on December 5th at the Mysterious Bookshop in New York City.
All right, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. All right, you excited about that?
I'm thrilled. It's a big step up.
That's right. Now, are you involved with social media in any way?
I have a Facebook page and a blog, but I'm not as active as I probably should be.
Okay, so you're more of an offline guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the traditional publishers, they're a little different now. What are some of the things you know they're doing differently now that you remember they were doing earlier before social media?
Well, I think traditionally, we all thought traditional publishers did a lot of the marketing and promotion, only to discover that the reality is that's on the author. But as social media has become so important, I think both authors and publishers are starting to realize that there is a way to reach potential readers, to build your communication and your relationships with readers that don't necessarily require somebody to be able to afford to get on a plane and visit 30 cities in the next 45 days.
That's true. You can reach so many of them through these groups that's out there. I mean, some of those groups are holding like 3,000-4,000 members. Yeah. I find that fast. Now, I'm just wondering, 3,000-4,000 people, they're really using that group, but in some cases, they really are. They're peeping. Now, sometimes they don't always communicate with you, but they're looking at some of your products very carefully. Now, book samples, Amazon. How important is having a good amount of book samples out there?
I think, again, we used to go to bookstores and browse. And we don't do that as much as we used to. But I think people, if they're going to spend good money on a book, they want to have a little bit of a sense of really not just what does a review say or what's a blurb somewhere, but they can read a few pages, they can read, really get a sense of whether or not it's the kind of story they'd like to read. The fact that Amazon makes that possible is, I think, a big benefit for all of us.
Yes. Now, you're one of those guys, you hit them hard coming out of the gates. I'm talking about the first 3-4 sentences, like captivating. Or you kind of I guess like nurturing a little bit.
I think I've evolved as a writer. I used to spend more time letting the story kind of unfold. I mean, again, I write mystery genre, I write crime fiction. Probably my first book, I don't think a dead body appeared probably for about 35 or 40 pages. My new book, it's in the first paragraph.
Like bodies found on the floor when they walked in the room. Wow, that happens. Yeah. But sometimes that's how some of your TV crime dramas start out. Right?
Yeah. Well, I think again, you want to start the story as close to the action as you can, and you can always go back later and fill in some missing pieces. But I think we do need to grab readers and give them a reason. And it doesn't have to be a dead body, but there has to be something on the first page that makes them want to keep reading.
That's right. Now, looking at some of our TV dramas that's really popular, can you copy a little bit of what they're doing out there?
Well, I think we can learn from it. I mean, right now, police procedurals are obviously a huge part of what we see on TV in terms of crime fiction. It's not the kind of story I write, but it reminds me that if that's what readers now sort of expect, then it's important for me to understand that and at least be able to incorporate it into my stories, even if it's not kind of the focus.
Right, absolutely. All right, well, again, tell us where we can find your book.
You can find it online anywhere they sell books. You can go to your local bookstore. It'll be out December 15th. And as I say, if you're in the New York City area and you'd like to come join me at the Mysterious Bookshop when we launch, that'll be December 5th.
All right, that's Jeff Markowitz, and his book is Death and White Diamond. Love that title. All right, I'm Jerry Royce, live on MBTV on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being here. All right.
My pleasure.
All right. Hi, everybody. This is Jerry Royce Live. We're still hanging tight at the C3 conference. This is day 2. Of course, it's raining here in Baltimore, but we're having a great time at the Hunt Valley Inn in Hunt Valley, Maryland. You having a good time, Vernon?
Absolutely.
All right, great, man. And we had a pleasure of talking to Vernon last night. He is so excited with everything that's going out there. He told us that he's the wire before the wire. And why you say that, Vernon?
Well, it's not me, it's readers. My novel, The Jonesmen, was first published in 1974, and which was a generation before The Wire came out.
That's right.
But once it was republished, what I found was that a number of younger readers that had grown up watching The Wire and later discovered The Jonesmen, and they went, whoa, this is very reminiscent of The Wire, but it was published 30 years before.
Wow.
So a lot of people think that it, or believe that they see some similarities in terms of the structure of the show and the tapestry of characters that they see in The Wire, they see in The Jonesmen. And it's so funny. I first heard people comparing this about 3 years ago. I just kind of Googled The Jonesmen one day, and this review came up, which was like just a couple of years ago, like 2011 or so. And it was like this rave review of the book, but more importantly was this comparison of The Wire to The Jonesmen. And so I read it and I went like, whoa. You know, and the guy, I still remember it because it was such a stunning kind of assertion. And what he wrote was that The Jonesmen, in broad plot points and structure, is the single greatest fiction influence on The Wire, whether it's acknowledged or not, you know. And I went like, whoa, I never heard that. I mean, I never thought, I watched The Wire and I liked it, but I never thought it really, but this guy sort of broke it down, and he made a case, which was funny, you know. So I don't take it that seriously, but what I say to people is that, you know, I'm flattered because The Wire was a critically acclaimed series. You know, it was a very gritty urban show, and so what I say to people, if you like The Wire, give The Jonesmen a reader and make your mind up yourself. You know, I think 2 factors that I think make The Jonesmen compelling as a piece of reading. One is I try to inject immediacy into the stories. Like I grab you by the throat on the first sentence and I'll let you go. The other thing is the dialogue. The story is told almost entirely in dialogue. You know, so it has a kind of page-turning quality because the scenes kind of flow, and each time you end a chapter, it kind of like automatically makes you want to read more. In fact, the New York Times said in a review that it sometimes makes breathing for the reader difficult, the way it's like boom, boom, boom. So,
that's right.
You know, give it a shot. You know,
shoot 'em up.
Right, right.
Just check it out, everybody. Now you can find Vernon where?
The Jonesmen is available at most bookstores near you, and it's also available at Amazon.com or at the publishing site, which is rosarium.com.
Okay, and are you on Facebook, social media?
I am. My Twitter is at VES Stories, and I'm on Facebook as Vern Smith.
You got that. All right. We'll make sure that that's sitting out there in the browser. All you have to do is click on it, right?
All you have to do is click on it.
And that's The Jonesmen by Vernon E. Smith. All right. The Why Before the Wire, and available in bookstores, Amazon.com, Anytime's Notable Book. All right. Never heard of that. So who's that? Anytime's Notable Book.
That's a New York Times. The New York Times.
Okay.
If you want to look at the back of it, it's got some of the
reviews.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So we got to check it out, man. All right, everybody. We are sitting at C3. We're having a great time. It's day 2. It's still time to come on out. Of course, this will be loaded after the fact, but it will be returning next year around September 25th through 27th, what I heard of some of the dates. So we'll make sure that you guys will get that information. All right. Thank you so much, YouTube Nation. And this is Jerry Royce live on MBTV. Thank you. All right, Vernon. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Take care, everybody. All right, man.